Okay, so we are starting something so brand new here on the podcast. I have been talking about just shifting and changing and doing all the new things. And so today, as I am literally relaunching the podcast, I have told you what the new name is. It is called Soul Aligned Podcast with Andrea Crisp. I'm so excited. And it's so interesting because as I have been preparing to launch the podcast, relaunch, I guess, after 8+ years, Binu, 8+ years of the Courage Cast, we are shifting from courage to alignment. There is no other person that I thought about having as the very first guest, and also not only the first guest, but the first person that I'm actually going to be recording a new podcast with under the new name. So this is it. Like, you are holding space for me today. We're holding space for one another for something to be brought into reality. And so I just am like thinking about that right now. It's kind of like, it's when you're holding something, you're like, here it is. I've brought you in to hold space with me on that. And so my dear friend, Binu Dhindsa, who I absolutely adore, you may have heard her already on the podcast before, but welcome to Soul Aligned.
Thank you. And I'm almost going to cry because this is the first time hearing about the new name.
I know.
Of course. Actually, Andrea, of course. Like in my head, I was like, yay, of course. That is so you.
Yeah, I'm excited. It has been one of those things where I have been, just sitting with it, being with it, asking myself, is this the name? Using different iterations of it, going back and forth between different things. And at the end of the day, it felt like this was the one that most encapsulated where I am in my journey, but also where I want to bring the work that I'm putting out into the world. And I have to say, I loved the name, The Courage Cast, for many years. In fact, it was actually really hard for me to let it go and to say goodbye to it. But it was time. It was time for something new energy, something to bring out into the world. And also, not only am I doing new energy with a new name, but I'm doing video. So
why not just do two big things at one time?
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm like, you got to go big or go home, right?
Truly, that's what you're doing. And you know what? You're doing it. You're doing it. And of course, you're doing this at the beginning of 2026, like 8 years. So first to me, 8, like what an abundance of energy you've put into this podcast till now. Like that's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah.
And of course it has to evolve at some point. And what a perfect time, like all the talk around the shedding of the snake and stepping into the fire horse. I don't even know the full meaning of all of it, Andrea, but I'm watching you. I'm like, oh, this is fire horse energy.
Yeah, it's time. It is time. In fact, I felt that there was something coming for a while. And every time I went to go and step into it and to say, okay, I'm ready, I felt like a little bit of a hesitation. And I felt like, okay, I need to wait on this. Something needs to come forward first. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today with you on, because I know if there's anybody that I look to for, that spiritual guidance and someone who's doing the walk and doing the work, it's you. And I want to know, even from your perspective, there's so many things that you're putting out into the world. Like, you have a beautiful podcast, you have a beautiful group called Limitless, you have events that you run both on your own and with the talented, brilliant Renee Walker, that I have been part of both of those events, both the 88 series and Manifest Her. And I want to know from your perspective, what does it look like when you are in that season of like letting something come into fruition for you?
Well, okay, I might cry because like I'm in it. Yesterday was one of the 88 series events, it was like 22 women. And I'm like, the energy's still moving through me. And so just this question, honestly, it's like, I'm regulating as I'm moving, right? Like that thing wouldn't leave me. That intuitive idea, that soul hit, it wouldn't leave me, Andrea. Like I kept trying to, like my logical brain was trying to convince my inner spirit, no, I don't need to do this event in March. No, maybe I'll wait till May. Like I was actually having a bit of a match in my head, but the pull was so strong. Like with some of these, the pull is so strong. So that's what I would say. It's like the intuitive, the spiritual nudging, the voice. So I call it all the things. The soul voice was speaking so loudly, but then I have to move through the physicalness, like the body, the brain, the mind, the household. And it's not always easy, but I get to make it what it is and not make it. It doesn't have to be pressure or performance. It can just be. And so I really did something a little bit different the last 3 weeks, which I was focused on regulating my nervous system. I was focused on moving slower and not feeling like I had to make it like perfect. Like all these things keep coming back. It's just the next level of it, right?
Right. What is the, like, I'm curious for you, what does the nudge feel like? So you said like there's this pull or this feeling of, okay, it's coming and I need to like follow that. What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, like sometimes, so I actually feel it's a voice first. So it's always on my right side, right? So I know I'm clairaudient, right? So I'm hearing it like another event, Binu, 88 event, small group. And then how it feels in my body, it's always in my stomach area, so my sacral chakra, right? And it feels, it feels good, but it's not good like peace. It feels good like, oh, it's a little exciting. So I don't know how to describe it, but it's like little exciting, that nerve sighted, like.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So, but I'm trying not to say nervous, but it's like something's activated. It's not a calm, when I've come out of a sound bath or a meditation, like in my sacral chakra, it just feels like soft and relaxed. So it's not like that. It's like a little bit activated, but in a good way. So that's the pull, right?
Yeah. That reminds me of like what I would feel like when I'm just getting ready to go ride a roller coaster. Waiting in line and you're standing there and like, this could be scary. It also is going to be super fun. And you're having that like anticipation of it. And you're just like snaking your way through the line until the very, beginning of the line. And then you get on and it's like everything inside your belly is just moving around and rumbling. And then it starts to move. And as you like crest up to descend down, it's like, and then whew, let go.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. Except roller coaster happens in what, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Where, right? This was a half day event or a full day event, but it's the same analogy. I feel like it's just, we have to hold it. And the difference is when we do these big things, like I don't take this lightly that I'm holding space for 22 women. Some people I know, some people I don't know their stories. Like part of what's happened today is I've learned a few stories from some women. They've left me some messages and I don't take this lightly. So we're also doing that. We're holding space. Like when you coach, even when you're dropping these podcasts, we don't know who this is helping.
Right.
And I think we both tap into that as well. And sometimes it's not sure why we're tapping into it or what it is, but I know. And then you hear somebody say, oh, I listened to that episode and it helped me because of this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, I remember feeling something moving through me. Maybe this was it. Right.
I'm glad that you said that because what a great reminder, even for me, beginning this new, the new name. It's a new energy. It's bringing something new into the world. But, a reminder for me to go, yeah, that is it. I am not just pressing record and, whether it's video or audio, it is literally saying, okay, in these conversations, whether it's with somebody else or something that I'm sharing on my own, it is literally holding space for someone else who is processing, who is doing their own work, who needs to gain something maybe today. Maybe it's just, you feel drawn to the title and you're like, okay, I need something. And then the very thing you need, you hear. And you're able, sometimes I even find I'll listen to something or I'll look at something and I get that immediately. I get what I need. And then I'm like, okay, I don't even need to hear anymore. That was what I needed to hear, or that was what I needed to get. And then I am able to move forward. And it's, so thank you for reminding me, like, it's, to hold that space and to say, so even right now, it's like we're holding space for whatever women are listening that came on this first week, who are here for the podcast relaunch. And maybe you're in a space in your own life where you're like, I'm getting ready to bring something into the world. So someone's getting ready. So we're just going to go there.
Okay.
Someone's getting ready to bring something into the world. They're carrying a vision. They're carrying a mantle. They're carrying a purpose. What is the thing that they need to know? What would you say to them? What do they need to know?
What's coming to me is they need to know that if they're getting that hit, that I've been playing with this word, intuitively hit, so no other words coming to me. They're getting that soul hit. It's coming to them for a reason, like to listen to it. It's not just a fun, oh, that's cute. It's like, no, it's a calling. Like if you say someone has a vision, a mission, then they're getting a calling. Like they're getting a calling. So that thing that they're seeking, that they want, that mission, they want to get out to the world, how they want to help people, the universe is actually seeking them more. I heard this somewhere and I like it. Whatever you seek, that thing is actually seeking you more. And so if it's coming to you intuitively, like, it's not an old idea, it's something new. And you're like, what, me? Really? Right? To listen to it, because if you don't listen to it, right? So it's like, I'm all about not faster in terms of hustle, but it's like the shorter the time between us getting that soul hit and feeling aligned with it and then taking action, aligned action, the less amount of time there. To me, that's where the magic happens. That's where the growth happens. That's where you meet that person. That's where you hear that thing that you need to hear. It's when we hesitate. The fear, the doubt, the overthinking, the who am I all shows up. So that's what I would say. What would you say?
That's really good. No, that's really good.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I really like that, because I have found there's something you said a little bit earlier too, that I kind of want to piggyback on. And it was talking about, when you feel it in your sacral and you kind of have that knowing, that sense. And I have, in my own journey, I think just because of my life experience, I emotionally bypassed probably a lot of like what I felt. So I didn't let my body feel things, which I'm a sacral generator, and that's how I'm meant to be in the world. But if you're not letting yourself be in the world in that way, then you're in your head, which was what I was doing for a long time. So if I got an idea or, spirit came through with something that I was like, wanted to take action on, a lot of the time I would be in my head thinking about it, planning it, working it out, trying to think about the logistics of it all. And even though my body is meant to know intuitively when to take action or when to do things, I would bypass that. I would say, oh, I'm going to shut that off because I didn't know to use it.
Oh, that's good.
And so when you're saying that, it's only been lately that I've been letting myself go, what is my body actually feeling? Because I learned through, life experience and through other things that like the body is not what is supposed to tell you something. And now I'm like, yes, it is. So it's a new thing for me. So you're speaking language to something that is what I'm learning.
I love this. And you know what's interesting, Andrea, is I think I've only been listening at this next level this last 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember hearing about body talk. There's like a whole body of work called body talk. I don't know much about it. I've seen it at like my naturopath's office. But it's when the nervous system work started really coming into my world, and this like feeling, like sitting with the feeling without having to know what it is.
Right.
Like just sit with it and breathe through it, get out of your head into your body, and then having it pass. And I think I was like, whoa, this is wild. But what happened is I think we're starting to train ourselves to like open up the portals so spirit can come in and drop some more things, or drop the next level of the idea, where then it grows and grows and grows. Like I started getting a bigger picture the more I was just allowing myself to feel all of it. And I still have work to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. When I go to have spa days, like one of my favorite things, many people know this, I love Thermea in Whitby, and I love going. And it felt kind of like, this is a luxury, something that I do. And I would go with this intention at the beginning when I started going, I'm going to get like all these ideas, and I'm going to plan, and I'm going to sit with my journal when I'm eating, and I'm just going to like plan things out. Inevitably, never happened. Never one time, not even one time did that happen in the many, many times I've gone. And yet I would come away like almost like I was not thinking. And I'd be like, I feel like a potato. Like I've literally so relaxed. Nothing is happening in my head. And yet my body was just like, so like an exhale.
Yeah.
And I started realizing that when I would go there, it was my body was responding to what I wanted to do. And that is where the sacral is for me is, do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? Do you want to eat this? Do you want to have that? And I was intuitively listening to my body and actually taking action in that day from it versus planning, making a list, trying to figure it out. When am I going to do that? How am I going to come up with the money for that? How is it going to work? How many people are going to come? Who should I hire? Who should be on the podcast? What should be the name? Like, all the things that you're asking yourself, all these questions. And I started realizing, like this is how this feels. Like it feels like my body is just saying, just take this step, just go here. And not trying to be in my head thinking about what to do. And that's so what you're describing to me feels a lot like that.
Yeah. And it's a practice, right? Like I was actually thinking when you were saying, sometimes it's just, okay, body just wants to go to this spa. You don't have to overthink all of it. I remember when I started wanting to train my intuition, I was just starting to coach. And the coach that was coaching me, she, a couple of times I said to her, I got off a call and I said, I had this thought to say to the client and I didn't say it because it was just out of left field, right? What I know now is spirit was coming through and I wasn't trusting it. And she said, okay, let's start training your intuitive muscle in everyday life. So when you're deciding what restaurant to go to, try to tap in and follow what your intuition says. When you're walking down in the trails, when there's a fork in the road, which way do you go? And so that's what I started doing, Andrea. And when I think back to this, that training then helped me listen when I was in front of a client. And now it's like, it's almost coming in so strong. I have to like pause my client and say, can you just hold on a second? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's coming in so strong. I'm sure you do this too.
I do.
But that's how I think that's how we have to train. Like, I think some people, I just don't want people to think like, oh yes, we've been gifted with this prize and it's just easy for us. Like I always feel like I want people to know wherever we are right now, we had to do some training and the work.
Mm-hmm. You know what? You're bang on. And in it even went something that came through for me today specifically was it's amazing that I have done as much as I have done. That's what I thought, because, you know, I feel like sometimes I have so much more to learn and so much more healing and layers to peel back. And I think to myself, gosh, like it really is quite amazing that I get to do this at this level. And I think we discount where we're at and think, oh, if I was just like further along, if I knew more, if I had more certifications, if, you know, and I think a lot of it comes back down to exercising your intuitive muscle and transformative work. And this is my personal belief, is so different in the online space than anything else other people are marketing. You know, you can market for, you know, podcasting or sales or, you know, all sorts of things. And it's very different than when it's transformational, life transformational work, because we really have to like tune into that intuitive muscle to be like, how do I work with this specific person or this specific group of people? And not just say, okay, well, it's going to be the same way every single time. And that's the way it is, right? Like we have to hone in on that, but you don't have to be an expert to tune into your intuition. Mm-hmm. You get to do it now.
And you don't have to have a business. Like I even think like I love talking to women who actually don't have businesses, because their everyday life with, do I approach this teenager with this conversation now? Do I have this conversation with my husband here or maybe later? Like all of it is calling us to tune in and to align with our soul.
Yes. That's right. Yeah. And what would you say to someone who is learning to tap into their intuition in everyday life?
You're asking good questions, by the way. I'm just hearing slow down. So if the everyday life, let's use relationships because it's where I did a lot of my work before I started working with women in business. Slow down. Slow down in our response. And actually, I heard this through a human design speaker yesterday, but I think it's good for everyone, not just the projectors or the generators. Like slow down before you respond. So let it process in your mind. Drop into your body. Get to a place of calm before you decide. Like I know it sounds like, oh, that could take so long, but actually once you start doing it intentionally, it actually happens fast. It's like, take a breath. Feel it in your body, get calm, and then make a decision. Do I have this conversation right now, or do I save it for tomorrow when everybody's calmer, right? Or when we're alone, or when we're not about to go into a party or a wedding, right? That discernment, Andrea? Like it's almost like we're discerning as we're kind of going inward, but it's like to slow-mo the whole process.
Yes. Yes. One thing that I have tried to do when it comes to that, like, you know, I don't have kids or a husband, so that's a little bit different, but I use, when there's something kind of sticky in my life with somebody, or I'm trying to navigate a situation or relationship in some way, I ask for divine timing and divine order. And I often say, you know, I know that I need to have this conversation. I may not even want to have the conversation, but I know I need to have it. And so I ask them, you know, I just say, I just commit to this conversation, to divine timing and divine order, that the moment and the opportunity arises when it works for that person or me. And hopefully both of us, to be able to be in that space so that I'm not looking just to get something off my chest or to say, okay, I've got to say something. It's like, no, I can trust that there's going to be an opening somewhere. It's going to open, and I can take that opening.
And I've learned that from you, this divine timing and divine order, because I use different language, but I remember once you said this and I was like, oh, I like that. Asking for divine timing and divine order. And what I'm even hearing you say, it's like, you're asking for the highest good of all. It's not just about us. Like spiritually, it's not just about me, and it's not just about you. It's about both of us.
Yes.
Like us humans have been put in this world. I actually say this so often, like other humans are in our world for us to do our greatest work.
I love that.
Like if I could just be left in my home without having to deal with anybody, I might be a little bored and lonely. However, there'd be less conflict. So I do think all these people that we encounter conflicts or disagreements or misunderstandings, it's our greatest work.
That's so good. I'm even thinking as you were saying that about, the people in my life, they talk about the 5 people that, you surround yourself with, right, are kind of basically who you become. And when I think about just even you, I'm thinking about, wow, what a gift to my life that I get to experience you, that I get to be in relationship with you so that I can learn and I can grow and I can evolve. And, what if we started looking even at relationships in that way? Like, wow, she's actually put in my life for a reason. Like there's a reason for that. And what a gift.
Okay, I'm going to cry.
I love that though, because I love that when you cry, because when things move through.
Yeah. And it's actually an opportunity for me to receive. So thank you. Because I think sometimes we don't see ourselves in that way. And you are a masteress at telling me who I am, seeing me. And I know you do this for other people. So thank you. I received that. And I believe you wholeheartedly. Like, I think when we first met, I think I was thinking that too. First, I was like, thank goodness another woman in her 50s coming to these networking lunches. And then I remember thinking like, I think Andrea's been brought to me for a reason. So I feel that with you. Same.
And it's funny is you bring the 50s thing up. I think now it's interesting because you've often said in some of your posts and things that you've been doing, how it's almost like there's something magical about the 50s, and almost as though there's the lived experience and the understanding and discernment and intuition is like, it is heightened in your 50s. Like it is brought to the forefront. There's something for women at this stage in time. And you're a little bit ahead of me. Not much.
Not much?
Not much as in age, but you're a little bit ahead of me. You're probably a lot ahead of me in other ways, but in actual like lived years.
Yes, lived years.
What would you say to women who are, in this stage of life, whether it's personal, whether it's in business, whether it's their own soul evolution? What do you say to them about moving into that next thing for them?
What I want to say and what I feel like Spirit's dropping in. Which one do you want?
I want both. Whatever feels right for you.
So what Spirit's coming through me, and I just want to tell you, Andrea, like I don't always talk like this. I just know on your podcast we can talk like this.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. That is the message. The women in their 50s and 60s need to hear this. You are just getting started because the outside world conditionally, without even words, it's just an energy, wants you to throw in the towel. To Don't you hear that? Like I hear this over here and over here. It's like, I can't do that. I'm too old. Or gosh, to start that now? Who am I to start that now? What am I going to do? I'm just retired. I don't know. Like it's just, there's this lack in this low vibration versus what if you looked at it as you're just getting started and whatever it is that you are meant to do next. No one taught me what to do after 40. It's like raise your children, like to me, having the kids, it's like raise your kids, send them off. No one talked to me about what happens after. All I've heard about is retirement, which we know, like, let's get rid of that. Like, we need a new word for that.
Yes.
Shift. The shift. I don't know.
And you know what? There's so many women who worked a 9 to 5 or something in their lives, whether it was in an administrative or corporate or school teacher or police officer, whatever. So many different, ways, careers. And then come to the end of that time and say, I'm actually going to exit that now. And, they either say, okay, now what? Like, is it just pickleball and yoga? Which, no shade if that's, what you want to do.
One of my girlfriends, by the way, is like, she's the pickleball queen. And it's like her full-time job, seriously. And she's gotten to a point, like just as a good example, she's now gotten on the board of the Pickleball Ontario board.
That's crazy. Right? Yeah. See, so it's like, what feels right for you? Like there's a lady who I'm teaching and she's in her mid-60s and she's taking piano. She's been with me probably 3 or 4 years now, but like that's what she wanted to do in her 60s. Her kids have left the house. She doesn't work anymore. She's not going to go back to work, but does pickleball. She does piano lessons. She does other things in her life. And then some other women are like, you know what? I want to actually start a career in something else completely differently. And I think it really is about understanding that you get to define that. You get to know what's right for you. And it doesn't have to be just what everybody else has conditioned you to think that it is.
And the whole soul align piece, Andrea, if people are really following what their soul is guiding them to do next, wouldn't you say that it's not going to be logical? It's not going to make sense. And actually your friends and family might think you're a little clued out or or right?
Yeah. Like what happened to her? Why does she think she can do that in her 50s and 60s?
Yeah. Or why would she want to take violin lessons? Or why would she want to take a coaching program? Like we know women in their 50s that are just getting certified because they want to. Not logical at all, right?
Go back, go get a degree, get a master's, get a certification, take a course, do a painting class, do, travel if that's the thing you've always wanted to do or live out, whatever feels right for you and allows your soul to continue to evolve in the way that feels good for you and allows you to make an impact. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is seeing that we get to make an impact no matter what. So we're making an impact on ourselves, but we're also making an impact on the people like directly around us. We're making an impact on the people who, if you're in the online space, in the online world, maybe you're listening to this and you're a coach or a therapist or a healer. You're making an impact in that way. You're making an impact. You get to do that. But it all starts with tuning in and intuitively being guided towards what is that next step for you. And I love that you said earlier on, you mentioned how, to shorten the time span. And I want to go back to that because that was something that, as you said it was almost like a little bit of a kind of like a for me. Like, Andrea, you have, I'm just going to out myself here. You have let yourself take too long. And I can probably say for certain, probably, that it was because I was in my head. So the waiting was, I'm in my head. So I'm thinking it out. I'm planning it out. What's the logistics of it versus being in my body. And then if the fear shows up, being like, okay, well, then the fear's there. Okay. But I can move through the fear. But if I'm always thinking about it, the fear just kind of stays present in it. And you don't actually take the step. Like, even when I was thinking about, you know, starting and relaunching the podcast, I was like, there's a lot of moving parts, even just to do that. And now I want to do video at the same time. Like, who, like, I'm crazy. I'm actually, even as I'm doing this, launching a program. So I was like, I haven't done anything in like 4 months, and now I want to do it all at one time. Like, what? Like, you know, what? It makes zero sense. Like, it literally makes no sense for me to be doing all of this at the same time. But there's something that every time I sat with it, I was like, it felt like a buzzing inside of me. It was just like a hum that was just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And it was like, no, you need to act on this now and move on it right at the moment. So I would love, kind of as we, you know, bring this to a close, I would love for you to share, how have you been able to move through fear when it lands, to shorten that from the time you got the intuitive hit to the time you take action? If there's a fear in between, what have you done to navigate that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a super clear answer, but I first, when you were talking about the three things, I'm laughing because I'm like, you've expanded. So you can do the three things where maybe a year ago it would have been crazy, but there's almost like this momentum of the elevated, expansive energy that once you're regulated to it, then you can do three at once. So I even think last year I wouldn't have ran 2 events a month apart. Where now I can hold it because I've done this work, but I also was like, in case Andrea needs it, remember your nervous system regulation work while you go and you do all these things. We need to remind each other.
Yeah.
But how have I done it faster? You know, I feel, and I've just revisited my human design. So there is a part of it that says that I am fearless. And I've had friends say this to me, Binu, you're fearless. And I said, okay, so I'm not without fear. Otherwise I'd be dead. I have less fear. I somewhere along the line, actually just when we're talking, I don't know when I changed my mind on this. Maybe it's when I learned that fear could be the sign that I actually just want this big thing, but I've never done it before. But it's actually what I'm supposed to do, but I've never done it before. So it's scary, but it's actually what I'm supposed to do, right? So it was like, I think when I got that memo of like, oh, there's the fear. Oh, hello. Oh, it's because this is unfamiliar. I'm super uncomfortable. But then I keep talking about being on that big stage. So do I want it or do I not want it? So it's a lot of that going inward, going, okay, I could just, and how many times have I been here? I could just throw in the towel and like, this is too much work. And then I think because we're so tapped in, it's like spirit won't leave me alone. My own inner spirit, you know, that higher version of me, like we've built this relationship, me and her. And so she knows I want it. And so she's here to keep reminding me. And so she pops in when I do my, oh gosh. And so I take a breath and then maybe I do some journaling. I sit quiet and I'm like, okay, I do want this. So what does it look like? What's the first step? Like create a link of the event. Like create the link, write out some notes of what this event would be. Just write it out, Binu. So I start tapping in and letting her talk to me. I don't know if I've answered your question, but I feel like...
No, this is good.
like my higher self, my inner spirit, I let her talk. And I think when I take the one step, like create the link for people to sign up, or create the link to send to the 3 clients that feel safe, that I know they're going to say yes. So let them sign up first, because then all of a sudden the fear goes away and I suddenly hear, oh, people do want to come. That's a bit of my strategy, right?
Yeah.
But if I have an idea, like I had an idea with this event, I had 3 weeks to plan it. Oh, all the noise, right? Well, who's going to come? All these people just paid money for the other big event in February. And I literally had to get out of my head, but it wouldn't leave me. So I'm like, nope, there's other women that might want this, build it, they will come. I just kept hearing that from my inner goddess. Build it and they will come.
I love it.
One thing, like I created the link. Second thing, sent it to the 3 clients. They signed up. Then the fear got less and less and less and less. And then it came back when there was a lull in the ticket sales, right? And so we just have this opportunity, right, Andrea, to go back inward. Like, why am I doing this? What's my vision? What's the purpose? And so I feel like that's how I get through all this faster, is like when I feel that in my body, I pause and I go, okay, do I want to do this? Is this still right? Because I get to choose if I want to shut it down. I get to choose to give half the people their money back. I can do whatever I want. So I think I don't know what's that, like permission, and then one step at a time. But I do think I say this all the time. It's like opportunity to go inward again and inward again, and decide until that fear is like, literally the fear didn't leave until the event ended yesterday.
And then you exhale. You're like, okay. Yeah.
Today is exhale. Today I'm like exhaling while I'm talking to you.
I get to be in the energy of that, which is really fun. Yeah. One of the things you said, which it was just kind of made me chuckle, but also like it pinged in me, was when you went, oh, hello. I was like, I literally felt it. I was like, kind of like, oh, hello there. I see you. It's okay that you're here. Like, I see you doubt. I see you insecurity. I see you, uncertainty, unknown. Hello. Oh, you're back. Okay. And then just sit. Like, it's just like, all right, well, here it is. And then it's almost like I'm imagining sitting with it now and being like, okay, well, nothing's happening. So I guess we're okay.
Yeah, you're safe. You're good.
Yeah, we're good. So you can be here and I can still do it. And I think that's the beautiful part of the nervous system regulation, is that when you do allow yourself to sit with whatever is showing up for you, and allowing yourself to say your nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system allows you to go, okay, now that's a new baseline. That's a new normal. Yes. And it's okay for there to be uncertainty can exist here. Unknown can exist here. Fear can exist here. Doubt can exist here, because they're not something that you're trying to like bypass and move away. And I got to get away from this. I can't have it, because it allows your body to know, no, that's okay. I can still do things and actually feel this, and it's safe to do it. So
yeah. And I think it's that. Feel it and then move. Feel it. Because you were saying, like, what's the opposite of bypassing is actually just feel it. And somewhere along the line, our subconscious mind is taught to freak out when fear and doubt shows up, or we've made up a story that means we should stop. But that's not true.
Yeah. This has been a good conversation. It's totally exactly what I need to hear. I'm certain it's probably what women that are tuning in today that are, we're here for the relaunch. We're excited. I'm so glad that you were the person who I get to do this with first. I mean, how fun. What a gift. You're a gift to me. So thank you so much for being here. How can people connect with you and all the things that you do in the world?
Oh, Andrea, thank you. And I am so excited for this new name, new energy to get out there. Like, this couldn't have been a better name for you. I love this. And I can feel it just talking to you. I'm so excited. Instagram, they can find me on Instagram, Binu Dhindsa, just my first name and last name, and my website, binu.ca. So those are the best places.
And of course, they're going to be all in the show notes for you guys to be able to connect. Please feel free, everyone who is listening or watching, if you're watching on YouTube, you get to screenshot this and tag Binu, and she can share it, we can share it. And, you know, just allowing more women to be able to hear that they get to have what their soul desires and to really align to how they are meant to live and lead in the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to take a moment to rate and review the podcast. It really helps more women find these conversations and step into their own alignment. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, you can connect with me and explore ways we can work together. All of those details are in the show notes. And as you move through your day, just remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. Trust your soul knows the way. Original music and production by Stephen Crilly.